for your day. So he goes back and he looks at all the days. And the one thing that was the most common was that I had super high fat days. And I'm talking about super high. It's on a pie graph. It's on a pie chart. And let's say because there's 3 things that's on the pie chart. On the pie graph. Why I keep saying pie chart? Pie graph. It's fats, carbohydrates, protein. Really simple, right? So, because there's only 3 things, the pie only splits into 3 parts. On my pie graph, Jesus, fat was taking up like 30, 40, 50% sometimes. And that's huge. So he looks at me and he says, yo, how do you plan on losing fat if you eat nothing but fat? You got to change it up. And I'm like, yo, I'm not even paying attention to the fat content of the things that I'm eating because I had got so hung up on counting calories and checking for sugar. I was like, yo, I'm doing it right. So I wanted to share that story with you as I segue into our little struggle for today. We've been programmed, if you're in this fitness walk, to read the labels and see what the hell's going on with our food, right? But some people are like how I was and get hung up on just 1 or 2 parts of what the label says. It's really important that we peep the whole scenery, because the great thing about MyFitnessPal app is that you can actually monitor and track and see where you're at. That way you can know what to eat more of and all that great stuff. If you're not using it, still want to write it down, or you want to do something that just keeps track of what you're eating, because you might run into the same problem that I did. Be eating too much damn fat, not even knowing it. It wasn't intentional. It's not like I'm saying, yo, pass the butter. It literally was, I wasn't reading the labels on my food in the right way so that I can avoid eating as much fat as I was eating. So, this is what I say unto you, my friends. When you're reading those labels, just understand that there's a reason that it's called a balanced diet. You want to have a balance between, let's just say for these 3 things, carbohydrates, fats, and proteins. If you have a healthy balance with that, then Lord knows what can happen for you. Because as soon as I made the adjustment, I lost 2 pounds just in adjusting the food. Not to even say what I'm doing with the workout on top of that. The food alone had me drop 2 pounds. That's huge. You could lose 2 pounds in a week and lose 8 pounds in a month. That's almost 10 pounds a month. That's crazy if that's your goal. And now imagine if you're trying to drop body fat. You don't want to be eating fatty foods or eating a lot of turn into fat, because that's just going to add to your fat percentage, which we talked about yesterday. So, with all that being said, I'm a super advocate of MyFitnessPal. Download the app. It's freaking fantastic. You will not regret it. They have so much stuff on there that you can add to your food. And the really dope shit about it is, let's say you've been eating the same thing every day because, you meal prepped. So Monday through Friday, you eat the same thing at lunch. You don't have to put it in every time. You can put it in one time, copy it, paste it. Boom, you're in the game. They make it so easy, like there's no excuses. So MyFitnessPal is the app. Go ahead and get that, because it's just freaking phenomenal. And read your labels through and through. Don't just look at the calories. Don't just look at the carbs. Look at the full scope of things and make sure that you have a balanced diet, because carbs aren't bad. It's complex carbs that's going to kill you. That's from the bread and the pasta and all the other things that do not fully break down in our system. But what does break down in our system is vegetables and protein and all the other things that are natural and clean eating, right? which we'll talk about on another show, but you just want to make sure that you know what you're putting in. That way you can know why you're getting what's coming out. Input equals output. If you're eating a lot of fat like I was, then your body fat percentage is going to stay the same and you're not going to lose any weight. That's just it. I hadn't lost weight in like maybe a month and a half, almost 2 months before we realized that I was eating too much fat. And then instantly, as soon as I switched it up, 1 week into switching up my diet, I lose 2 pounds. The shit works. I'm just saying. So, be mindful of your labels. It's super important to see what's in your food because you just have to know. You have to know what you're putting in. That way you can get better results of what's coming out. It just is the way of the world. You have to know. All right. Anyway, so I will go ahead and take another music break. Make sure you stay tuned. When I come back, we're going to go into a little bit more detail of the myth that people believe right now when they read labels. And it's kind of scary. But you don't want to miss it. Stay tuned. This is the Daily Fitness Show. I am your host, Dominique Jay. We'll be right back after this. Welcome back. You are now tuned into the Daily Fitness Show with Dominique Jay. I am your host, Dominique Jay. You gotta say it like singing, you know. I used to love watching wrestling. I used to love to watch wrestling when I was a kid. And one of the cats that was just the most phenomenal cats, and I still love him to this day, is Hulk Hogan, right? Hulk Hogan, Randy Savage, and The Rock. I think those are like my top 3 of all time as far as like watching, being entertained type ordeal, because these cats used to sound like they were singing to you, and the voice was just so raspy with the older cats, like, listen here, brother, like that. Oh my god, that shit just drives me crazy. Like, it's amazing. Anyway, welcome back to the Daily Fitness Show. Yo, we're talking about reading labels and the importance of having a balanced diet. One of the major things that I am seeing when people ask me like, yo, I'm reading labels, but you know, these things are still happening, yada, yada, yada. I'm going to tell you about some of the mistakes that have been happening. Mythbusters time. I know you're ready for that. So check it. One of the things that people are doing, well, I did it at one point too. So one thing that we've done in the past, and we're not going to do it anymore, right, is we'll look at the label and we'll ignore the serving size. And I know a lot of you guys are like, psh, who does that anymore? No, it still happens. And let me tell you, there are times where I'd be so hung up on all the other stuff that's going on inside of the food. I don't even look at the serving size because I'm like, yo, okay, this looks like it's okay here. It looks like it's all right there. Pay attention to the serving size, people, because even though things have shifted in like the whole food labeling game, there are a lot of foods now where before it was like, oh, one of these is a serving, and I will say like, oh no, this is actually 1.5 servings or 2 servings. We just have to be mindful because you don't know. Like if you're eating 3 servings or something, then that means 3 times the calories. Yo, another thing that I'm seeing people like really rely upon is they're trusting the word zero and free. So like, I think I told you guys before, I had picked up this drink that's highly advertised all over LA, and it claims to be like the healthiest antioxidant drink of all time, and blah 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 blah. It says 0 grams of sugar. But then when you read the actual ingredients, it has like 3 or 4 different sugars that are man-made. Not like, yo, this is sugar that's from the fruit. No, this is like man-made sugar. I went and did research on the thing. But on the label, it says 0 grams of sugar. The advertisements everywhere say 0 grams of sugar. It's another reason why we have to read the labels and really dive deep into it. It's going to take a little bit of time to get used to all the things that we have to check for. But trust me, y'all, going through this process to see what the hell is in your food is going to save you so much headache later on. And that's from accomplishing your goals to having health issues, everything. That leads me into the next thing. Reading ingredients on your food. If I hadn't read the ingredients on that drink, I'd have just believed that it was 0 grams of sugar. I mean, why would they lie to me? Why would they ever say that it's 0 grams of sugar if it has sugar in it, right? Wrong. There's no freaking benefit in you knowing what the hell's in your food. There's no benefit because it's going to sell anyway. The benefit is internal benefit, where we don't put crap in our bodies and we don't sit here and we look in the mirror and be unsatisfied with our results. Whether that's gaining weight or losing weight, toning up, or whatever in between. So make sure that you're reading the ingredient list, because that's just as important, if not more important, as the caloric intake and all the nutrients that you find on the back of the label. Yo, if you have any questions about these things, feel free to ask. I'm looking for a nutritionist to bring on the show so that we can get this thing really popping with these questions about the labels. So if you know a nutritionist, send them my way. I would love to pick their brain about this on the air. That way you guys can get more clarification on stuff. That way I can ask the questions that you guys are thinking. And that way I can just, have this person go over some of these damn myths that we've, socially accepted. Like, it's just crazy. Anyway, yo, it's the end of the freaking show. Oh my God. Time goes by so fast when you're having fun. Don't you agree? I hope that you wreck shit today. I hope that you have a fantastic Friday. I hope that you come back on Monday re-energized, rebooted, and ready to do it. Listen, this is your host, Dominique Jay. Make sure that you follow this podcast and follow all of our social media outlets, because there's plenty of things going on. I will talk to you on Monday. Have a freaking great weekend. Wreck shit today, and do not forget to re-rack those weights, people. Until next time, peace and blessings, and I'm out.